Hi witches! So even though we are finished talking about the major arcana, I wanted to touch on the cards that make up the majority of the tarot, and that is the minor arcana. So there are 56 minor arcana cards. We talked about 22 major ones that have no suits associated with them, but there are 56 minor arcana cards that are separated into 4 tarot suits. So you have the cups, you have the swords, you have the wands, and you have the pentacles or the coins, depending on the deck. Within each suit, you have 14 cards. You have King, Queen, Knight, Page, and then 10 through Ace, or Ace through 10, whatever, in each suit. So it's similar to a regular pack of playing cards, but with 1 extra card per suit. So some people actually do use playing cards as like oracle cards, but more on that tomorrow. I will talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. But for now, we are going to move on to the meanings of each of the 4 suits and like how to interpret some of these cards within the reading. I'm not going to be able to go in depth on all 56 of them because like that's just a lot for one video. So I do invite you to do some more research on your own. It's pretty accessible, it's pretty fun. I really recommend biddytarot.com for any sort of information about it. I really like that website, and it's how I learned tarot, so yes. The first suit that we're talking about today is the suit of cups. Now this suit is all about emotion. If you see any of these cards in a reading, they generally speak to love, relationships, feeling, intuitions, and is like this suit is really heavily associated with the energy of the element of water. So the energy of this card is flowing and purifying. It's just anything that you associate with water, you can associate with the suit of cups. And there's a lot of imagery, water imagery in the suit of cups as well in a lot of tarot decks, so yes. The energy of this card points to like thinking with your heart rather than your head, which the cards of Justice and the Emperor are both just like, don't do that. Upright, the cards in the suit of cups speak to good emotions, creativity, romanticism, etc. Whereas reverse might speak to emotional breakdown, creative blocks, or losing passion about something, maybe a relationship or a project. So overall, if you are getting a lot of these cups, it's really time to take some time to assess yourself mentally and emotionally. So if you see a lot of that, just check in with yourself. The next suit is the suit of swords, and the suit of swords is all about intellect and the mind. So like a good sword, this suit symbolizes the double-edged balance between intellect and power. So, you know, if you have a perfectly balanced sword, you won't get cut with anything. I'm a fencer, so like swords and sword imagery is like my favorite thing. But if it's perfectly balanced, you won't have anything tipping one way or the other. So, you know, you won't be too power hungry or too like analytical to be a human being, if that makes sense. It is specifically associated with the element of air, and anything that you associate with the element of air, you can associate with the suit of swords. And that is closely, like this element is closely linked to the matters of the mind, knowledge, intuition, power, and divination. I think we talked about a little bit of that in our air magic series. In a reading, the suit of swords really kind of talk about, I guess, this concept of like force, change, power, courage, all of that. So anything that you kind of associate with like a knight, I feel like is embodied in the swords as well. When upright, the cards in the suit of swords are associated with enacting change, like I said, ambition, taking action, and conflict. So there are a couple cards that do speak to having direct conflict. What comes to mind specifically for me is the 3 of Swords. And I think also the 9 of Swords is like there's like a lady sitting up in bed just like going like this, and I'm pretty sure that's the 9 of Swords. It's kind of scary looking, but anyways, reverse, they generally point to anger, judgment, fighting, abuse. So overall, I find these cards come up when you are really combating something major in your life that is really difficult. It's all about, it like encourages you to overcome obstacles and to forge your own path despite roadblocks. So it's like kind of a harbinger or like a negative like suit, but also I always try to put a positive spin on stuff. It's like, yeah, you might be going through this stuff, but like what can you do to fight back and like make your life the way you want it to be? Yes. So the third suit in the minor arcana that I wanted to talk about today is the suit of pentacles. Now, these cards, or this suit, is specifically associated with the element of the earth, the energies of the earth, that like stability and physical, like tactile aspect of the earth element, which is cool. In my Scapini deck and perhaps other decks, the suit of pentacles is actually called the suit of coins. So again, those are interchangeable. That was really confusing for me as a beginner. I was like, what? And then I like figured it out shortly afterwards, but it did kind of like throw me for a loop, and I had to like research. But regardless of what they are called, this suit is heavily associated with wealth and finances for sure. That's kind of like the main like aspect of this card, but also may be associated with the like yourself, your ego, and the material world around you. When upright, these cards point to periods of abundance, manifestation, prosperity, growth. Earth magic is just like coming at you. But when reversed, they can point to greed and overindulgence or overspending. Maybe putting one's work in front of, family ties or perhaps your own mental health. So if you get a reverse card, sometimes it might just point to the fact that you're working too hard and you should maybe think about taking a break. I'm an earth sign, of course, so I am the most drawn to this suit. It's like my favorite suit in the tarot. But generally speaking, when I do see these cards, I do see them speaking to like material wealth, or just like having things and like holding on to things instead of like experiences, if that makes sense. And I always feel really validated when I am reading for like abundance or like career and I do see like coins or pentacles. So that's kind of like a good validation that like my intuition is like flowing and when I'm working well with my cards, if I'm like obviously doing an abundance reading and I'm seeing a lot of pentacles. So just a way to kind of check in with yourself and check in with your deck a little bit if that is something you're interested in. Finally, we have the Suit of Wands, and the Suit of Wands is all about manifestation and creativity. So finally, we have the Suit of Wands, and the Suit of Wands is all about manifestation and creativity. We see the symbol of the wand in the Magician card and the World card, and if you haven't seen that video, or those videos, I should say, go ahead and check them out if you want to learn more about the Major Arcana. But along with creativity and manifestation, these cards are really associated with like inspiration, expansion, ambition, and are closely tied to the element of fire. So anything that you associate with fire, you can associate with the Suit of Wands. So you might see the symbol of fire a lot within the wand suit, and I see that a lot in my Scapini deck. So if you have your deck out in front of you, check it out. Maybe you'll see some. And like the element of fire, these cards can point to creation of new bonds or ideas when upright. These cards generally speak to like your spirituality, your ego, personal motivation, and what makes you you. Reversed, these cards may point to a lack of direction, maybe an overinflated ego, and illusions, so watch out. You are seeing a lot of wands in a reading. You might be struggling with something mentally, or maybe your beliefs are being challenged, and that's okay. But by learning from your cards, you might be able to kind of pinpoint what exactly is happening, address it, what's going on mentally, and then, that's a good way to continue on with your personal growth. Oh my gosh, I need coffee. Oh my goodness, guys. I am so sorry. But anyways, yes, this is the Minor Arcana. I hope this video helps you guys. Again, Biddy Tarot is really great if you want to look up some more specific like meanings of each of the cards. And also a lot of tarot decks come with like a little booklet, so check it out. I think this is like the final video I'm making about like the different nuances of like a tarot deck or like what makes up a tarot deck. And all of the other videos this week are going to be, like I said, tarot adjacent. So if you ever have any questions about tarot, feel free to like DM me or just like message me or comment down below, and I am happy to help you. I try to keep up with the comments as best as I can. If you ever like, if you're a patron, my inbox is always open to you. So, there's that as well. There's a lot of avenues to reach me. And if you are a patron, keep an eye out for your monthly reading that comes out on September 1st. And thank you guys so much for everyone who supports me there. I very much appreciate it. So yeah, much love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.